Hi friends, it's Carolyn Zick here with CZick Stitch, and today is Saturday, February 27th, 2021. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I'm so glad that you are here. Thanks for coming back, or thanks for joining us if you're new here. I am back. It's been a couple of weeks. It's been a big couple of weeks. Some of you know if you're on our Facebook page, which is CZick Stitch, or in our Magazine Monthly Challenge, or in our Friends of Hawk Run Hollow Facebook group, which I always have them linked down below, so check them out if you're interested in joining us. You already know this, but during Valentine's Day weekend, the Friday of Valentine's Day weekend, we had pretty strong storms here in the Pacific Northwest, in the Portland area. Portland itself got hit with a lot of snow. I think they got around 9.5 inches of snow, which is a lot for us because we usually don't get any snow. Where I live, so right before Christmas I moved. I'm in a suburb of Portland, but just far enough south of the city that we didn't get a whole lot of snow. We got maybe 1 or 2 inches of snow, but the rest of what we got was ice. So we got, I think it was, when all was said and done, around 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches of just ice. And then there were strong winds. So I lost power, as many people did, Friday night. So that would have been the 12th of February. And I did not get my power back until the following Friday at around 10 o'clock. So almost exactly 7 days and 7 nights with no power, no heat. My stove in this apartment is electric, so I had no way to get hot water. So yeah, it was very trying. We're safe, we're fine. So I'm very thankful for that. The kitties were quite stressed out, especially Simon. He did not like it at all. It was very cold. Now, it was not as cold as what it was in Texas. Our outdoor temps were actually decent, but with no heat, I mean, it did get cold in the house. And I didn't even really get much cross-stitching done during this time because it was just too cold to do anything, but I was mostly in bed with a couple sweaters on and 4 or 5 blankets and the kitties, and we just huddled up. I think the scariest part was the first 3 days and 3 nights. I was listening to branches fall all over. Just every 10-15 minutes or so, you would hear another one, and they sound really terrifying. Apparently, where I live was the epicenter of this storm. It was not a tornado or anything like that, I don't think. Although I have a friend who thinks it was a tornado because she just today actually drove through my area and said she was quite shocked at all the down branches and trees that still are down. So that's what happened. I threw out everything in my fridge and freezer. Yeah, so it was a very exhausting, very long week. I was able to go to campus a couple of times. They're trying to limit the number of people who are on campus just for COVID safety precautions. But they did say if you are without power, which a lot of people who work at the college live kind of in the general area where I live, because it's actually quite close. It's a quite easy commute, which is really nice. They said we could come to campus if we needed just a warm place to sit for a couple hours and to charge our devices. And where my office is, which I've only been to a couple of times because I started this job in August, I'm lucky enough that we've been working from home the whole time. And where my office is behind like a door with a code, and the only people who have that code are myself, one other person we work with on our team, and my supervisor. And neither of them are in the office on a regular basis either. So I felt pretty safe and secure just driving to campus, going in our kind of locked away office. And then I had to teach on Thursday. So I teach a Tuesday, Thursday class. Tuesday, the classes were canceled Monday and Tuesday because of power and damage to the campus. Thursday I did have to teach, and so I just went to campus and taught from my office because I am teaching virtually. So it's been tiring, and it has taken quite a while to kind of recover from that. The groceries, but also just kind of, oops, I hit you, I'm so sorry. But also just kind of getting my life back in order. I did not get much stitching done, as I said, just because it was too cold to do much of anything. And of course, it got dark around 6 o'clock. So not much stitching happened that week, which really set me behind. I was already a little nervous about finishing all my goals for February because it's such a short month. That certainly did not help. So let's get into it and let's talk about fun things. Let's talk about cross stitch. So I had to finish. I had to buy new readers because I lost my other ones somewhere. Not during the power outage. I think it was when I'm starting to look at houses now, which is really fun. I think I left them in one of the houses we looked at, or maybe they're like under a seat in my car or something. I'm not sure. But I had to finish, and I finished this that Friday night that I lost power. So just kind of in the nick of time. So I finished Easter Parade. This is by Blackbird Designs, and I finished this basket. So I will show it to you here. So here is the finish. So it went relatively quickly once I was able to just sit down and focus on it. I think the last time you saw it, it had just this little center thing done, the centerpiece, but now it is done. And I think it's really cute. And I was so close to a finish, and so what I ended up doing is I ended up not working on Spring at Hawthorne Hollow because I really wanted to finish this. Originally, I said I would work on it a little bit in February and finish it in March, but I just went ahead and finished it because I was so close. So here's this piece. I used all the called for. They're overdyed. And then just as a reminder, here's the bunny. So let's see if I can show you. So you have the bunny and the basket. Well, you'll see it. What I need to borrow an iron from a friend because my iron is packed away in a box somewhere. And then I'm going to frame them. I got frames at Michael's. And then today I went to Michael's and I just bought a bunch of DMC for upcoming projects. But I also bought some cute little like Easter things to decorate the frames with. So this is done. This is goal number 3 out of 40 is completed for the year. Which it's almost March, so that's not, I gotta pick up the pace a little bit. So highlighted ones over here are the ones that are done. So the bunny in the basket and then Peace to My Heart is another one that is done here. That's the better way. I'm out of practice here, y'all. So the highlighted ones are the ones that are done. The ones that are not highlighted are the ones I still gotta do, or I'm aiming to do. So that was my finish. I'm thrilled to have that done. Then I did work on Spring at Hawthorne Hollow number 5. This is by Carriage House Sampling. So this is what the whole thing will look like. And I am on this scene right here, number 5 with the bunnies and the tree and the kite hanging in the tree there. I am not going to finish this. My goal was to finish this month. It's not going to be done. This is where I am at. So I have... This whole side is done. This side is mostly done. I have to add in the bunny eyes. But there is a bunny leaping over a flower over here. And then I have this big tree and all the leaves to do. So that's going to take quite some time yet to finish. But I do like it. So this is number 5, which will not get done this month. So I'll have to carry it over next month. And part of that is because I lost a week of stitching from the power outage. And part of that is because I did extend the time, the number of days I said I would work on this. But that's okay. I have a feeling we're going to get caught up someday. I don't know why I think that, but I do think that. Sorry. So that's Spring at Hawthorne Hollow. And then my Sunday spin piece for February is Kringles by Little House Needleworks. This is from a market release from last year. My goal for this year is just to finish this top roof line here. Just that. And let me show you where we're at here. Let me tighten this up so you can actually see it. You can tell, well, it's not super tight, but you can tell where the power went out. I think it was right when I was stitching this. I'm not sure what's going on there. No, I wasn't even stitching this when the power went out. I think I was working on Spring at Hawthorne Hollow. I'm not sure. But I don't know why I didn't finish this thread. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, I might have to frog. Yeah, I think I have to frog because I miscounted. So this is where I'm at. It's a lot of counting and a lot of miscounting and a lot of frogging. So this whole chunk is done. This is all done. And then I'm working on this. So I'm right here. And I need to finish all this. So I'll be pulling this out tomorrow because tomorrow's the last day of February, the last Sunday of February, and I'll be working on it. I'll try to get this done tomorrow. So that is Kringles. It is slow going. Like I said, lots of counting, lots of frogging because I don't count right and all that. But it should be a doable goal. And it's only February, right? So I can pull it out again later. So that's the other one is Summer Quakers. This is by Rosewood Manor. This is my Whip Go, one of my Whip Go pieces. My goal on the Whip Go pieces this year is 15 hours per month on each piece. And my goal for the year on the Summer Quakers piece is the first 3 pages, which is essentially, where does it go? I don't know. It goes to about right here, I think, and to the top. So about a third. The top third is essentially what I want to get done. And so this Whip Go piece, I have finished the Whip Go hours for this. And this is where I'm at. So all I had done before I started was this motif here. So I put in this little circle motif, this flower. This started on this over here. This is not done. And then got this big one done. Now, technically, this goes onto the page below. But that's fine. I just wanted to complete it. So I basically, more or less, I think on this one, I have more or less the first page done. Just double check. Yeah, I pretty much have the first page done. There are a few motifs down here that have a few stitches on the first page that they then go over into the second page. But it's just a handful of stitches. So I'm going to count the first page as basically done. Oops. I'm telling you, I am out of practice. So that is Summer Quakers. Like I said, the goal for the year is the first 3 pages. Page 1 is basically done. This will come out again. This is on my Whip Go board one more time yet this year, so this will come out again. It's so fun to pull this one out. I just love the Quaker pieces, which is good because the other Whip Go that got called this month was Autumn Quakers, which I can tell I'm not really in the mood for. Like, the colors are so pretty in this, but they're very fall, right? They're jewel toned. This is what Autumn Quakers will look like. But they just aren't calling to me like the summer pieces, just because we're not in fall. And again, my goal for this is the top 3 pages, which is something like that or so. And I will show you where I'm at. I'm only about halfway done with my Whip Go goal. I'm only about halfway done, so I need to get another 7 hours in. So I had already finished this motif here and this motif and this little motif. That was already done from last year. What I wanted to do is I wanted to work on this big giant motif, and this one crosses over from page 1 to page 2, but it's such a huge motif that I wanted to see if I could get it done. And so I think I'll be able to get it done easily. It's just there's more in the center to go. But this right here is 7 hours of work. Well, okay, so -1 because I had to frog a bunch right when I started because I misplaced. I was a stitch off from where I started this one. And I didn't have a ton done, but enough that it took me about an hour to fix it and restitch it. So this is where we're at. So I still have to finish page 1. I mean, I still have, there's a motif over here, there's one down here, there's some things up there. So you can see there's still quite a bit still missing to finish page 1 on this. But I'll do what I can. And this one is not only big, but there's also a lot of color changes. So it's just a little bit slower motif, but it felt good to have that one done. So I'll be working on this one yet tonight, and then tomorrow, even though tomorrow's Sunday, and I do want to spend time on Kringles, I also want to spend time on this. So I'll probably get 3 hours in, and then that will complete my February. I'm using the called for Valdani threads. If you don't know Valdani threads, I'll show them to you here. They come on these little balls, and I talked about this in one of my previous videos, so this is what they look like. They're beautiful colors. They're variegated, and they're 3 strands, and so typically you just use them. The 3 strands of Valdani are equivalent to about 2 strands of DMC, so you just use it as it comes off the ball, unless you're doing back stitch, and then you would use 1 strand. So that is Autumn Quakers. So that's what I worked on the past couple weeks. When I was missing you. I don't have much haul at all, just because I don't. So first up, let me take this. I have my January. This is the January 2021 Coloring Cotton All Colors thread pack. Look at these beautiful colors. So we have nickel. It's a really pretty like blue-gray. This is Old Lace. This is Flamingo. Really pretty, like corally orange. These are so gorgeous all together, too. This is just a limited edition. And then this one is Egyptian. And I just love them all together. Like, this makes me want to keep them together as a kit. I do this with a couple other of hers that there's been a couple other sets that I think I just want to keep them together because I really like this color palette. And if I can find a piece to stitch that uses this color palette, I might use, so Jan Hicks is creating a seasonal piece. She has, was it the summer one already out? And then she'll be creating the other seasons. And so I might do that and use these kind of, they're monotone. They use MPI silks, but maybe I'll substitute and throw in some colors of this. I don't know what I'll do, but so I got that. I did cancel this now. And I canceled it because I mostly use the called for colors anyway, so I'm not great at substituting. But the Jan enabled me to sign up for Fat Quarter Shop has a MPI Soaks of the Month club, and I don't have any soaks, I don't think, other than my Chatelaine has soaks in it, but I don't have soaks, so I joined the MPI Soaks of the Month club. So much for that. Okay, and then I got this. This was the snapshots. This is by Pine Mountain Designs. This is March. So I showed, last video I think, I showed all the months that I got. So I have all the months, and March was out of stock. Came back in stock. Actually, I had my friend Sam order it for me because this came back in stock when I didn't have power. And I was really concerned that it would go back out of stock. So she ordered it for me, and so thank you, Sam, for helping me out when I had no power. Yeah, so this is March. So my set is complete, and some of them call for Weeks Dye Works or Gast and DMC. So I think I have most of the DMC I need. I don't have any of the overdyed that I need for the whole set. My goal, so here are the other ones. So now I can put March in there. My goal, I think I might change my mind because I really am struggling with doing this, like, do one thing a month. But I think I want to start the January one, which is this front one. If I start this in December, if I start and finish it in December, and then I can have it out for January next year. And then do one each month, like the month ahead. I don't know. We'll see. That's just kind of what I'm toying around with right now. And then I got, that's Jack. This is Jack. He did great during the power outage. He mostly just stayed under the covers and snuggled, and that's mostly what we did. Simon was definitely more scared and nervous. Poor little guys. But we're happy to have our power back. He smells like perfume or something, and I'm wondering where he got that from. Like, I don't recognize, do you ever do that? You're like, I don't recognize that smell. I wonder where you have been. Who have you been with? And then my April edition of Just Cross Stitch came in the mail as well. And you can see I have some flags. I know I haven't done any flip throughs in a while, so I am going to try to do a flip through tomorrow of 2 magazines, that one, and then the winter edition of Stony Creek. So that's really all my haul. Not super, super exciting. I'm going to skip giveaways this week. I am so far behind on mailing them out and all that. So I'm going to skip giveaways for this week, and we'll do it again next week. I know I need to draw from the last time I filmed as well, which I forgot to do before I started this video. So, like I said, I'm still just a bit scattered. So we'll do it. We'll pick it back up next week, and hopefully we'll be back in a routine, back in schedule. So let's talk about March plans now. I have a whole bunch of March plans. So first up, for the Magazine Monthly Challenge, our theme for the month is something blue, or just blue. It's just blue. So this is my worksheet for March. So it's blue because it's my birthday month, and blue is my favorite color. Pretty much every shade of blue. So what I am starting, this will be my birthday start. And Jan, I know we talked about me pulling out my chatelaine and you pulling out your chatelaine for my birthday. Because Jan is doing no new starts this year, so she already has a chatelaine she started. But the problem for me with that is my lap stand and my chatelaine, they're all packed away in a box somewhere, and I don't know where they are, and I'm not going to go hunt them down and pull them out. So I'm not going to work on the chatelaine for my birthday this year. But even if you're not in our Magazine Monthly group and you would like to help me celebrate my birthday month, then stitch on something blue, stitch with blue thread, or stitch on blue fabric, or bead some blue beads. Anything blue would be great. What I'm going to start is a piece from this magazine. This is Ultimate Cross Stitch. This is Cats and Dogs. So every once in a while they have these special issues. I got this at Barnes & Noble a while ago. This is from 2019. They have these special issues with themes, and this theme was cats and dogs. And you can see I have a few pages marked in here. But the one I'm going to start is called Warm Welcome, designed by Joanne Aston. And it looks like this. Now I know you're looking at it and thinking there's not a whole lot of blue in there. And there's not. But the bird bath is blue. Here comes Canny. I might cut that out. Jack just walked across my keyboard and I thought pause the recording. I don't think it did though. He thinks it's his dinner time. It's 4:30. It is about his dinner time. We eat early in our house, so he doesn't like it that I'm not feeding him dinner. But soon, buddy, soon. Anyway, Warm Welcome. So there is some blue in here. Maybe not as much as some other pieces, but I just love it so much, and I needed an excuse to start it. And it has the flowers, which I love, and the kitty cat, which I'll probably change to look like this guy who just ran away. I'll probably change him to look like Jack, so make him more all black. But this is the piece I'm going to start, and there's 2 little birdies in here. This says it should take about 70 hours. I am going to stitch it on this piece of 28 count Lugana in antique white. I just got it last time I was at Acorns and Threads. Yeah. So that will be my birthday start. So that's my blue, something blue start. So I'm excited to start that. And there's blue in it. I mean, there's a lot of pieces. Like I said, Jan's seasonal piece, I think that piece is in blue MPI silks. Here's some of the DMC I just had in my stash. And then I bought the rest of the DMC that I needed today at Michael's. I went to the Michael's for the first time near my new apartment, and it's a great one. It's super big. They're well stocked. They didn't have every single DMC I needed, but they had a lot more than I expected. So I was really, really pleased with that. And they still had Easter stuff out and whatnot, so I was really happy. So my goal on this is to do 8 hours, which would be hopefully 2 evenings or so of stitching. Okay, let me get back to my notes here. Okay, and then, so the theme is blue, and then for the acrostic for March, we gave you 2 acrostics, and you can pick one or the other. Or if you're a super challenger, you can pick both. Now I have plans for both. We will see what I actually end up doing. And the acrostic, the 2 of them are lion and lamb, because March comes in like a lion, goes out like a lamb. So you can do one or the other or both if you'd like. So what I'm going to do for the 2 L's in lion and lamb, I am pulling out our old friend, Mark still? Yes. L'Amazing. This is from the Stony Creek magazine, Cross Stitch magazine. This is the summer 2020 issue. And this is our llama friend. My goal is to finish this year. And I'm going to take out the words, I think. Pretty sure I'm going to take out the words there. And just move the border up. So let's see where I'm at. So this is where I'm at. So I'm close to getting the border done. Oh, I don't know what fabric I'm doing. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. 28 count Cashel Vintage Blue Whisper. And yes, so that's where I am. So my goal is 8 hours on this, so 4 hours for each L. So that should see some good progress this month. Just the goal. For the eye and lion, so we're going to do lion acrostic first. The eye and lion, I'm going to work on glitter houses. I am still working on number 1, which will look like this. Glitter house number 1. And I started this as a New Year's start. I know several of you are working on it or pulled it back out or started it with us. This is where I'm at. I'm using the called for fabric, so the eye, it's because I'm saying this is iridescent, as you can see the sparkle on it. So it's iridescent fabric. So my goal is 4 hours on this, just to move it along. Not too far yet, but just chipping away at it. I don't know what the count or what the fabric is. Silver, raw, silver, glitter, or something. That's what makes them glittery, is the glitter fabric. So that's the eye in lion. Then the O in lion is going to be Our Hearts by Brenda Gervais. And this was, I know several of you started it as well. This is a friendship start with my friends Robin and Andrea. And we started it earlier in February. And I'd like to pull it back out, I think maybe right at the beginning of February, even the first day. So this is where I'm at. I have those top 2 borders done. And I'd like to get another 4 hours done on this one. It's so pretty. It's so very pretty. And this fabric I'm using was just one of the color and cotton. I used to be so good about writing down my fabrics. I have gotten not so good. It's one of the color and cotton fabrics, fabric of the month that I had in my stash. I am not sure what the color is. I am sure. It is not a color and cotton fabric. It was from my stash though. This is a 32 count platinum Lugana fabric that I had in my stash. I think I bought it maybe thinking I was going to put Narnia on it, and I didn't like the color of Narnia with the fabric or with the threads I chose. So I just threw it in my stash, and I'm using it for our hearts. So that will be 4 hours for our hearts this month. And then the N in lion this is another small one. This is a freebie from Lindy Stitches from a while ago. I'm not sure if it's still a freebie, but it's called No Notion, and it's a quote by Jane Austen. It says, "I have no notion of loving people by halves." This is just a black and white copy. I started this in, I think, December of 2018. And then I just have never pulled it back out. This is where I'm at. This is just on a scrap piece of 16 count Arial Ada by Picture This Plus and my Garon needle minder. So this is where I'm at. I'm picking my own colors for this. My goal is to finish this, so it shouldn't take long. It shouldn't take long to finish it. So I'm working on the border, and then it's just words. So my goal is to finish it this month. Okay. So now onto the acrostic for lamb, Lamb. The L again is going to be l'amazing, so another 4 hours on that. The A is going to be Carolyn and Her Cats by Lynette Peters. This is a chart that she charted for me, which is very sweet. And the A is Lynette is from Australia, or you could say it's for the and Carolyn and Her Cats. But I'm doing A for Australia, where Lynette is from. And my goal on this is four more hours. If this is where I'm at. Lynette also sent a floss. Is that backwards? No, that's the right way. A floss that I'm using for this, a very variegated. And I love the colors. I love how it goes that green and blue. And then she also sent this piece of fabric for me to stitch it on. So I want to get another 4 hours of that done. Thank you, Lynette. And then the M in lamb, I will be doing my 12-hour rotation this month on Spring Quakers by Rosewood Manor. So M for Rosewood Manor. This is what it will look like. My goal on this one for the year is to finish it. So I'd like to give it it started out 10 hours per month. I'm upping it 12 hours. This is one of those that I didn't work on at all in February because I just had to let something go. In addition to finishing up Spring Hawk-Run Hollow number 5, I did not work on this at all this month. Again, just given the power outage and the extra days I took for Easter Parade. So, but that's okay. Let's take a look at where we're at here on Spring Quakers. Here is where we are. So I think I'm almost done with the first 2 pages. I think there's about 9. So I have a ways to go yet. But we're working on it. It's definitely the one I'm the furthest on, I think. Yeah, so it'll be good to get some time into that. And get back on track with 12 hours a month. So that is Spring Quakers. And then the last one is B. And for B, I am going to finish Spring Hawk-Run Hollow number 5. And the B is for the bunnies. So that is what I'm going to work on. B for bunnies. So that's the acrostic, lion or lamb or both, and something blue for my birthday. And then the WIPGO numbers were drawn. Jessie Marie drew them yesterday, so a day early, which I really appreciated because I like to plan. And the WIPGO numbers for March were number 10 and number 24. So my number 10 one is Hoity Toity. So we've already seen this month, or not this month, this year. So this came out in January. My goal for the year on this one is the first 3 pages, which is about the top third. It's definitely going to take more than just this second time of pulling out Hoity Toity. It's going to take more than that, so I will have to find time to do it. I'm using Jan Hicks color conversion, which you can get on her website, Mad for Yarn. I'm all done with the first page, and then I'm started in on the second page, so that peacock. smells like something. It kind of smells like old attic. You know that smell? I don't know why though, because nothing in here is old attic-y. You know what I mean? It's new fabric, it's new threads. So this is on page 2, but this is all page 1, which is done. The border is a lot because it's all, it's a chunk of stitching. It's all full coverage. But once, you know what it is? I put fray check on it. I bet that's what it smells like. I put fray check on it, and so I think that's what I'm smelling. That's my first time using fray check. Yes, so that border is a lot of stitching in there, and so that will take some time, but the motifs go pretty quickly. But this is where I'm at. Jan is also working on hers a lot right now this year. Her goal is to finish hers for this year, and hers is just gorgeous as well, and I love working on this. So I'm super excited it got called, but like I said, I will have to work on it more this year, quite a bit more, in order to get my goal done of the first 3 pages. So that is hoity-toity. And then that's block number 10 for me. And then block number 20, no, this was block number 24, hoity-toity. Block number 10 that was called is Winter Quakers. I'm telling you, we're doing Quakers all the time by Rosewood Manor. And this is what it will look like. It is just beautiful. And I started this, I think, on the first day of, no, I didn't. I meant to start it on the first day of winter, but that was, I think I moved on the first day of winter, so I started it on the 29th of December, and I got about 4 hours done. So not a ton, but it's a start anyway. So this is where I'm at. Little tiny start right here. And my goal is the first 3 pages. So I have a ways to go on this one. My goal for the year is the first 3 pages, which again is the top third or so. And yeah, so this one, so each of the WIPCOs will get 15 hours this month. There we go. And I'm keeping Winter Quakers in this great bag that Shelly made for me. It's perfect. She knows I love Christmas, so she made it in ornaments, and she knows that blue is my favorite color, so she made it in blue. So it's just beautiful. And Shelly does not sell her bags. She's known as Oh My Ada on YouTube, on Flosstube, so check her out. And she does not sell them. However, she very generously gives a bag away in our magazine monthly challenge group. She gives one away every month. So that's very sweet of her. I love this bag. And then this little charm here. So that is WIPCO for the month. So what am I going to work on this coming week? Normally what I've been doing, what I found myself doing, is doing a lot of the monthly magazine challenge acrostics at the beginning of the month. Because those I typically do 1 or 2 evenings of work, and I can kind of get them out and cross them off. What that ends up happening then is then I'm kind of strapped for time for things like Spring Quakers, where I'm trying to get 12 hours a month in, or Spring at Hawkrun Hollow. And Spring at Hawkrun Hollow, I feel like I have not met a monthly goal on Spring at Hawkrun Hollow for a very long time, it feels like. I'm still on block 5, which is fine. I'm not mad about it necessarily, but I just really want to focus on it. So what I'm going to do is instead of doing, 4 hours for all of the acrostics, or one evening of work, or 4 hours, or 8 hours, or whatever I've called for the acrostic, I'm going to start out at the beginning of the month. My goal this week is to finish Spring at Hawkrun Hollow number 5. That is my big goal for this upcoming week. And doing my 15 hours on Winter Quakers. I won't get 15 hours done. You'll probably see me so I come back next Saturday. You'll see me midway through that 15 hours, but at least start on the 15 hours of Winter Quakers. So I want to prioritize Spring at Hawkrun Hollow and my WIPCO pieces, so I'm not kind of stressing out near the end of the month trying to get it all done. Tomorrow I'll hopefully be able to get some time in on Green Goals as the last Sunday of February. And then I'm going to be finishing my 15 hours of Autumn Quakers between tonight and tomorrow as well. So hopefully all that will take place. I'm a little concerned about tomorrow because if I do 4 hours on Autumn Quakers tonight, I still have 3 hours to get in on Autumn Quakers tomorrow, plus working on Kriegel. So that's quite a lot. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to prioritize Autumn Quakers because that's WIPGO. And the Sunday spin is just something I do. So if I'm in a crunch for time, I will prioritize WIPGO. Okay, now I need to find my phone here because I want to do the Sunday spin for March. I know I will see you next Saturday, which is before the first Saturday in March, but I just felt like doing it today so I could plan. So I'm using the Tiny Decisions app. Can you see? You can't really see that. And this is a wheel with all my 2021 goals. So I have 40 goals in here. Well, I take out the ones that I've completed. So 40 goals minus 3 completed would be 37 goals. So let's spin and see what we will be working on every Sunday in March. Looking out. Okay, let me go grab that and I will come right back and show you what that is. So looking out is an ornament that I started last July for Jolly July. This is what it will look like when it's done. And this is by Floss and Fleece, Kathleen Burlow. And it is from the Christmas Ornament 2019 issue by Just Cross Stitch. So this is what it will look like. My goal on this piece for this year is just to get the window pane, like the outer part of the window and the crossbars done. Just to get that part done. That's my goal for the year. I'm stitching this on, I think it's a 14 count Aida. I don't exactly know. I don't have it written down here. But it's a Blizzard, I think. It's like an opalescent. So this is all I have started. Not very much. So my goal again on this is to finish the window pane. And if I finish the window pane before the Saturdays in March are done, I will go ahead and spin again because that will complete the goal for this. And that would be nice to get another goal completed. And that one is one of the few where the goal is not necessarily to finish. So that is looking out. I'm so excited to be back. I really missed you all. Thank you all so much for your very kind messages. A lot of you sent me messages in private and on Facebook, just checking in. And I know our friends in Texas and throughout the South have been struggling with power outages and boil water and, any interruption to our lives on top of COVID it's a lot and it's very stressful. So I really missed you all. So thank you for hanging in there with me, and hopefully we'll be back to normal next week, and I will see you then. Happy stitching, everyone. Bye.